Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel. Another episode of Humpdazed. This is number 108. I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. As always, Crispy Wannabe's here with me.
Cheers, everybody. Happy Hump Days. About to get fired up here.
We got a joint roll.
Down.
Oh, what's this? That's not right.
What are we smoking on today? Smart.
We have cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. Sweet.
I can't seem to get. There we go. Hold on.
We're going to get our buttons in order. We're going to pin the link. So if you want to come on and hang out with us, smoke down with us, or show your plants, you're more than welcome.
It should be up there now.
You just have to pin it.
Yeah, I got to pin it. Here we go.
Nice.
We passed 1,500 people since the last time we was on. That's a pretty cool milestone. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you to everybody listening. Ganja Ghost, Artman, Captain Blackheart, Small Tubes.
Hey,
everybody out there listening and giving us support. Things are awesome.
we appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
There's Sevens. How's it going, Sevens? Old school.
Artman in the house. Oh, things look different in his setup. Something's different.
Yeah,
Cheers.
something is different. Everybody moved.
Uh-oh.
So, all in the flower.
Yeah. Look at that. Got an empty tote sitting over there. What am I stepping on? Oh.
How you guys doing?
Put the episodes on Spotify again. Oh, that's a good question. I can't believe Ganja Ghost actually listened to those on the Spotify. I stopped them a while back because I was getting like 4 listens, 7 listens, and I decided to stop. Now I gotta start doing that again.
Hell yeah.
So
you said you have everything into the flower?
Yeah, I moved everything into flower yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, the Slurricane, One Flow, and the Bambalam.
Nice.
So, starting again.
That's going to be a nice tent, man.
Should be good.
Nice variety. Little bit different structures on some of them. You'll get to see some cool. I like doing that. Some people dread it because I think it makes it hard to train and shit, but I like it.
It can.
Oh, yeah.
It can be a challenge. If you can elevate your pots on a platform of some kind, that helps a lot.
Yeah. True. Cheers, Jace. Welcome to the show.
Hey, cheers, guys. What's going on?
Hey, Jace.
Just firing up.
Just smoking some cookies and cream and having a great evening.
My favorite ice cream, cookies and cream.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no.
That or chocolate chip cookie dough.
That's a good one. I like the chocolate chip cookie dough. I like the blizzards from Dairy Queen, man. Those are good. Hey, this 7 says he's dealing. I'm dealing with a failed sensor on my AC, and everything is dripping wet in the tent. Luckily, no bud.
Oh.
Man, we've had that happen before.
Well, we've had that happen because of my error of going in the middle of the night to do a fertigation at 3 a.m., turning down like all the fans and the lights so I can like get in there and do anything without being blinded and go deaf, and forget to turn everything else on. 3 hours later, everything is soaked. I mean, it looked like we took a hose and literally sprayed down the sides of our tent. I could not believe how much water was just
running down
the side of the tent. It amazed me and really shocked me and made me panic instantly as soon as I opened up the tent.
It shows you how much of a microclimate will create quickly if we're not taking care of our environment.
Also shows you how heavy transpiration gets, humidity raises it.
Yeah, most definitely. And when you have a sensor going out to be the cause of it and not blame it on Crispy, that really sucks. But you know what? We luckily didn't get any mold on that grow. And really, I was watching it like a hawk. I was really like scared because we were in flower when that happened to us.
Oh yeah. I didn't get anything from the power outage I had either. It was only 11, 12 hours, but it did raise the humidity. It's always scary.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
like to throw in an extra hygrometer in my tent for, I've got the AC Infinity too, and I mean, even if it's working good, I just like to use that as a second reference point because, like on the AC Infinity ones, you can calibrate those up or down on the temperature and humidity. So I typically go off of what the setting of the, or the readout of the hygrometer is.
I got
Cheers,
2
genetic.
meters. I got one
Supreme
as
Great.
an environmental controller, and then I got a Pulse Pro. They say
Oh,
the Pulse one is more advanced, so
it's nice to
Yeah, I've
have
seen
two.
those. Those are kind of pricey, aren't they?
very much so. That one will give you a CO2 reading as well, though. So that's why I wanted that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cheers,
When
G-Bay.
Yeah, it is
G-Bay.
nice to have like secondary gadgets to catch, when one instrument is failing, you'll be able to tell with the other instrument if they're pretty close. Smart and I know all about like being complacent with our instruments, not calibrating or something going wrong. So it's good to stay on those things and have fail safes.
You know how much money and complacency cost us each year? Not us, but us as a growers. It's a lot, man. It happens everywhere. It happens in all walks of life, all trades, and all businesses and shit. People just, it's hard. I think it's a human nature thing, but it always rears its ugly head, man. I guess some people have more discipline than others, but
Even though when you're trying though, like with having, Smart and I'll go in the grow room with the, thought process of, okay, if I miss something, you're going to catch it. And if I miss something, you're going to catch it. And then we go in, we get to bullshit and no one caught any, neither one of us caught it.
weed always costs us our redundancy. Hey,
Yeah, we can't get stoned and go into the grow room again.
we got to make sure that Artman's put something up here. What's going on?
Oh yeah. G-Bay's
Oh.
going to be on the Let's Be Buds tonight.
Oh yeah. Reminding people. Tune in.
That's awesome. G-Bay, good people, man. I like G-Bay and his wife too. They're great. Some people grow all their own stuff, and
They have a hell of a garden. Their outdoor garden's amazing.
G-Bay's the type of dude I could see me hanging out with him and just laughing for hours, smoking joints and shit, talking about everything from welding to growing. One of those dudes, Definitely check him out.
I put the link in chat, although I'm sure a lot of the listeners and people here in our chat already know. But if you're new and you're just listening in, after the show, check out Let's Be Buds and catch G-Bay over there.
Yeah, show him some love. At least come to the chat and harass him a little bit. That's always fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I went there last week when the feed person was on there.
Yeah, that was a great.
Yes, it was a great interview episode.
It's cool. You always learn a little tidbit here or there that you didn't know about these people that you've been following for a couple of years, and
Plus, it's awesome getting a second look at the garden.
Yeah.
I never get tired of looking at Seed Person's garden. He's always got something cool going on, and beautiful plants over there. All the good colors and cool genetics.
Cheers, Galaxy AG Sheldon. Let's get our shelled on.
Hell yeah.
4th of July, you guys got anything planned? Big fireworks, cookouts, poolside?
Not really. I might go to the city park. The city puts on a big display. We went there last year and just kind of sit out in the field and watch it go off. That's about it.
I like fireworks, man.
That's cool.
They're legal now. They was always illegal in our state for the longest time until just last 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Damn, man, you're gonna find a different state to live in. You can't do fireworks or weed.
Yeah.
Well, we
we
can
can-
do fireworks now. It used to be, yeah, they frowned upon both.
Oh, you can do weed. You just have to buy from the government and go through a medical card and risk DUIs and all this other shit. But yeah, and then the fireworks, man, they're reasonably priced too. It seems like because there's like a market for it now. When we was younger, we had to buy them out of the back of the fruit market, you know, in the back room. Now you can just go to these places, and it seems the competition has really made good prices. But I'm not I don't have a whole bunch of land to be letting off fireworks, and everyone around me has dogs. You know,
And our cat doesn't like loud noises either.
but I love
Yeah.
fireworks. I love going outside on 4th of July late at night and just letting off a bunch of fireworks, man. You know.
Yeah, we live in a city too, and we're not supposed to do fireworks. But like with my daughter, we'll get her like some of those low key stuff, you know, like little fountains or something that ain't gonna be too
Sparklers.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
sparklers.
Oh, them kids, the little kids, they love that. That lights them up. That puts a light on their face. What a fun time that must be with your own kids.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I see them now. You can sign up pretty easy, and you can sell fireworks. Like you can get like a kit or a package like delivered. Like you can get one of them storage units, and I see people selling out of storage units all the time. Those fireworks.
Isn't that wild? I was at a fireworks factory once, man. It was this guy used to help him bale hay, and part of his land was leased to this Keystone Fireworks or something. I can't remember what it was now, but they made like it back then. It was illegal for private citizens, but they made them for like the displays and stuff, you know. And every building, there was like 8 little buildings, and they were all red, painted red. And they had like a special thing you walked over to get rid of static. And I guess from what I understand, they kept like the magnesium in one building, the phosphorus in another building, and they like, you know, everything had to be separated and grounded. And it was wild, man. I couldn't believe it. Was just little rooms, man, with a lot of dust collection and shit in it, you know. Looked like a shed you'd put your lawnmower and stuff in. That's it.
Yeah, they're legal here for the most part. Usually it's mainly like city limits. You can't set it off in, but they've got certain
Yeah.
fireworks that are illegal. Like you can't do pop bottle rockets here, but we still get them.
Yeah, I like the mortars, man. Put them, get a tube
Yeah.
up and start dropping mortars.
You could have wars with those things.
Yeah, dude, they're so much fun. And as long as you're safe, you know.
Yeah.
The worst thing that happens is someone gets hurt or property gets damaged and shit. It's always good to be safe, man.
Safety first. Don't lose your fingers tomorrow.
People be drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
what
if it's
salute
fun.
camp.
It's fun till someone catches on fire.
That's right.
Well, the football
And,
player Michael Strahan blew off 2 of his fingers. So
When recently?
Okay.
no, it's been years ago, but yeah, he sure did.
Damn.
I think it was Strahan. Yeah, one of them guys blew off his. Yeah, well, if you were good with them, you know, you don't be stupid. Got to be careful. It is an explosive.
Yeah,
Don't get drunk
Yeah.
and do it. How's that?
that's it. We always I like to try to remember why we have these holidays, like, you know, Memorial Day, Independence Day, and all these things. And it sounds corny and shit, but it is good to remember what we're celebrating, you know, independence from a tyrannical government. We always talk about that here, about how we can't do this or that. But when it comes to when the shit hits the fan, we got it pretty good, man. You know, I don't care what state you live in. I think we got it pretty good. How did I see a guy say it? He goes, I love my country. I'm just not too crazy about the government. And I was thinking that's a wonderful way of putting it. You know, just because you don't appreciate your government and some of the shit they do, don't mean you don't love your country or your fellow countrymen. You know, there's a big gap there, a big divide. So yeah. Joe Dirt. Life cigar. Take it. Make it work for you. That's awesome. I love that.
Really?
Dude, man. I actually have that as one of my quotes. You can have a quote under your name at Cocoa for Cannabis, and that's one of them. It's a Joe Dirt quote. It's cool.
True American hero, all American right there.
I thought that it was pronounced Dirte.
Oh, it's Jay Dirte. Yeah. He's French. What's up, C?
Cheers, seed person.
What's up? I'm out in the garage tonight, and it is hot as fuck in this garage. But I'm gonna persevere and smoke this joint.
Endeavor to persevere.
I was outside today pressure washing the side of the house and the roofs and just going over everything. My poor wife down there holding the ladder and all kinds of dirt.
Oh, goodness.
But
it rained down black soot upon me. It wasn't fun.
I can feel my shoulders are hot and shit. I know what you mean, C person. It was a scorcher today, man. I did some rugs. I pressure washed some rugs and shit on my side, and they were drying in like 2 hours, man.
Man, I saw a seed person got that purple panty dropper going all red on him.
True, that thing looks
It's
sweet.
amazing.
Sorry, I'm looking for a lighter. Yeah, no, I just chopped it down today, and it was bleeding. It was bleeding red, like anthocyanins everywhere.
Kind of
That's
like
so wild.
XYZ was here last week. C
Yeah.
person's on that.
Yeah,
bricks.
yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I was here for that. That's interesting that it happened like that. You know, one week apart.
That's
I've
two people.
never seen one of those applied to weed.
What's that? A bricks test?
Yeah. I'd never even heard of it before he mentioned it.
They're like a diabetes test, like a A1C or something.
No idea.
Cheers, noob.
Yeah, the first I've ever heard of the bricks was on the Cheap Home Grow show. They taught me what all that was all about.
Bricks, yeah.
Learn there.
What I learned about the bricks, I'm trying to say how I want to present it. It's like I think in my way of growing and what I'm trying to achieve, that metric doesn't really help me much. Now, if I was growing grapes or if I was doing something different, some people like to test it. I think they do it scientifically to see. I've heard people say if you have this much bricks, your pests attack your plants, which I think is total bullshit. And I think, and then other people were saying like health went along with bricks. Well, okay. I don't know what we would do as growers. Like, all right, if I take a bricks test and it's low, I'm not going to change nothing to try and just change my bricks. If my plant's looking good and everything's going great and I have a low bricks, I just don't see. I don't think it's very good for me. I don't think it's a metric that's going to help advance me as a grower. I could be wrong. I could be ignorant, but
Yeah, I don't know I guess there's a benefit to knowing if your plant's doing good or not, based on the levels, but yeah, how do you respond to it, or how do you react to that result?
I always felt it was more for like just that scientific studies. Like, we're going to feed this plant nothing but ammonium nitrate as its ammonium, and then we'll test the bricks. We'll do this. We'll do that. And then the next plant's going to get a different sort of nitrogen, that or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And then they test the bricks. They test the chlorophyll rates and all that. You ever see that shit before, guys? They have. I know some people in the chat have, but they have this thing. It looked like a white clamp, and on one side it had like a magnifying glass with a light and shit. And they were putting it in there, and it was I think maybe what dude was saying, a refractometer of sorts, and it shines a light through the leaf, and it kind of lets it know how. I want to say it like this, but I could be wrong. How photosynthetically active that leaf is, I guess, or how capable it is of handling photosynthesis, or something along there. But I just don't see me needing it. Brix is a measurement of density of sugar dissolved into water, usually measured through light refraction. More sugar, the more carbohydrate your plants is making. So there you go, genetic memory coming through with a nice.
Yeah, so that would be indicative of those bricks levels being at a good level. Your plant is firing on all cylinders. It's creating carbohydrates and is very healthy.
Yeah, I try to
Brick-
stick with the basics. I try not to get too far into, I mean, I'm not super sharp on the science aspect of that. I mean, I try to keep up as much as I can, especially if it's really beneficial to what I'm doing, but I don't know, like the back of my hand, like some people do. So I couldn't tell you.
I'll be right back. Son.
All right.
Yeah, I think that like what we're after is like getting our plant to up and going into the finish line as quickly and as healthy as we can get it. Those are our goals, is to keep a healthy plant. And sometimes that works out so easily and great, and they're firing on all cylinders, and then other times not so much.
Like here's a perfect example, and I'm not trying to be the downside of this, but it says like the higher the bricks rating and the cutting, the more likely is to root and quickly. So if I take a cutting from my favorite plant, test the bricks, and it's low, I have that data. What do? Am I going to go change something in the soil, wait 3 weeks, come back and do it when it's a higher bricks rating? No, I'm going to cut it and take it, and I might know now in my head that it's a little less likely to go.
You may need a little more time
or something, but I'm going to give it that anyhow, right, without knowing that metric. I'm going to put it in the water or the cloner, all 100, 200, 700, two of them, whatever, and I'm going to let them roll. I guess maybe if you're doing 700 of them, you could test, but it's I wanted to ask XYZ this week. His microphone went on. I had a couple questions for him, and that was one of them, is what was he planning on doing with the bricks? And I think he said, yeah, because he was all over the place. He had one that was 14 or something high, maybe it wasn't high, but and then another one was like 4 or 5. A lighter
personally. Oh yeah, I saw that. I can't reply to the chat because this app won't let me, and I don't have my laptop. But I see the comments, everybody. You know what I was going to say about doing all the testing and stuff is like some people are very scientific minded, and some people are more intuitive, kind of just fly by the seat of your pants sort of thing. And that's a good example between like Dr. Coco and somebody like Noah the grower. He's pretty like just does his thing, and Doc Coco is like very specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can tell personality wise, there's different styles of doing it for different people. And if you want to have all that information, then that's awesome, because you might find something and then share that info with everybody else. But for me personally, I'm not interested in doing all that stuff. I'd rather just let the plants kind of tell me like, oh, this one looks a little light. Might need to give it a little extra recharge or something, and just kind of go by feel versus data.
Yeah, read the leaves, read the stems turning purple, read stuff like that, I guess, maybe. Even
like lifting the pot versus having a moisture meter, things like that.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yep, that's another good one.
Yeah, and sometimes those activities are just for fun. They're fun, and you're getting some information out of it. It's a win-win, right?
Yeah, hippie. Tree hugger. No, that's good. Whatever floats your boat. If you do better by feel, do it.
Well, we know XYZ is a data man, and I'm sure that
nerd.
Everything,
absolutely,
all this stuff is getting put down, and I think he's going to be one of the first ones to come forward and say that like there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm finding, based on strain or whatever. That probably doesn't. At least that's what it sounded like to me. He was telling me numbers, but.
Or he'll find like the plants that he likes and enjoys to smoke will have a certain bricks level and a certain level of like what he's testing for, and he'll be able to make a correlation in between like the numbers and what he's enjoying. That would be interesting.
Bricks bragging rights. I like that.
That's right.
My bricks is better than your bricks.
See, that kind of reminds me of like Dr. Bruce Bugbee and all the publishings he's doing. You know, all the findings that he has. I mean, I'm sure if you follow his regimen, I mean, you're going to have some fire. But I mean, honestly, like that's too sciencey for me. And honestly, like I can't keep up with what he does because he's. I mean, I don't have the resources. You know, he's doing this in a lab with, you know, a lot of manpower helping him out and all the state of the art equipment. And I just can't reproduce those kind of conditions.
Right. I like Bugby.
I think it's important the work that he's doing. I think that they're, you know.
Well, we all know how many degrees I have, so I can keep up with Bugby, and we're one and the same. But the other thing is, Chase, is I think what he does is he creates. There's two sides of this. One, I've never seen Bruce Bugby. I've never seen a real nice tent of his. So how the hell am I supposed to take his advice? You know.
So that's the thing. He's not for the home grower. I mean, he's doing this in a university study.
Right. What they use
like
chambers. They have chambers, man, that are sealed, and they can dial them in any way they want. You know, like very particular. So I think they create conditions to see what happens. Like, let's put a plant in perfect conditions that we can consider perfect conditions, and we'll blast it with an hour of UVB every day or something, you know, and see what happens. And I think that's where he gets a lot of his. I should say that's where I like to take in a lot of his stuff, because I feel like he has the setup to be able to make it and then record it. But, you know, people always say, you know, whoever's funding them, they always seem to agree with them. And so you have to be careful. I like Bugby. I like to think he's not one of them, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I like him. I like what he's doing for the community. But like in one of his most recent publishings, I think it was Shane Migro, he put a video up on his YouTube, but it was about temperature conditions for like peak THC and terpene for flower, and like for the late flower, like the last 2 weeks, I want to say he recommended keeping it at 68 degrees for like the best THC potency and terpenes. But I can't keep my grow 68 degrees that late in flower, to be honest. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
That's
but there's
pretty
nothing
cold,
wrong
man.
with knowing that, even if you can't match his parameters. It's nice having the
They
info.
Good
goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can take that info and then you can apply it in a different way that fits for you. You know, it's a jumping off point for a new idea.
Yeah, I might be able to lower it a little bit, you know, maybe like meet them halfway in the middle and do like 70, I don't know, low 70s to mid 70s. But yeah, 68, that's just not feasible for me. I wouldn't think that'd be feasible for most home growers, to be honest. I mean, you'd have to have some pretty good equipment.
I agree.
Yeah. Move your grow into your drying room.
Yeah, you'd have to have
Keep
that
it at
Artman
60.
mini split.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
in the
that'd be nice, wouldn't
wintertime, you know, in the wintertime, it's really not difficult. Smart and I have had our grow drop into the mid 60s in the wintertime. We can get it down pretty easy, especially with the LEDs. Like when we were growing with the HPS, that light actually kept a room. We turned the heat off to that room, and it kept it so comfortable when all the other rooms were so cold. And we would go in there to hang out because it would just, and that was the room that didn't have heat. We purposely turned it off, and it would just be so comfortable in there.
Tropical, you know.
Tropical, yeah.
All right. So jumping off point for keeping it cold. Here's an idea. Anybody ever heard anything about using dry ice in a grow?
Ooh, dry ice. No.
Kind of expensive.
I don't know. Just a thought. Like I said, you know.
Yeah.
Drop the temperatures, yeah.
You gotta be careful with dry ice, it'll burn you and shit. Yeah, I wonder if does it create condensation or anything crazy? It reminds
I think
me
it
of
makes. Doesn't it like makes fog, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like a gas. I think of XYZ's tent, and it's always dry ice for CO2. You're right, but you'd have to you'd have to hang the ice above your plants so that the CO2 would fall on top
Or
of
circulate it.
it.
Yeah, you could have a fan going, circulate it.
Yeah, because it's 68 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're going to stay within BPD range, I mean, you're looking at 40 to 30% humidity at that temperature.
Would it be that low?
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right now. If you could do a 1.2 to 1.5 BPD, it's 40 to 30% RH at 68 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because I always
That's
heard keep it at 45 for flower around there.
I try to
And,
stay around. Yeah,
That's a little higher of a temperature, so.
me too. I'm always around 80. I try to shoot for like 50, 55 and like 80 degrees, 75 degrees maybe, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's
it's
about where I'm at. That's without equipment. You know, I try to keep it anything below 55 without a DHU. So I'll keep the temperature a little bit warmer, you know, around 80, low 80s, maybe.
The VPD at 1.2 to 1.5 in flower isn't. We don't set our VPD as that because it's the best course of action for transpiration and for the plant to grow. We have to understand that we're not setting it up perfect for the plant. We're setting it up to inhibit mold growth, mildew, and shit late in flower like that. So it's my understanding, based on all the science tests and shit, that the plant would actually grow best if it was at like 65% humidity, and which makes sense because it's evolved in a tropic region pretty much, most of it. But
yeah, and temperatures higher than I would be comfortable having in my tent,
and
like at
that's
the 85-degree range.
that's kind of where we end up at 1.2 to 1.5 is because we tweak the relative humidity, and it kind of puts it there, you know. And this is one where we have to. This is a perfect example of when you should separate VPD from just measuring. Well, this is how I look at it. This is all my take, because somebody else will tell you you're dead wrong. But I think that when I get to that point, I'm kind of abandoning VPD and I'm strictly going temperature and humidity to try and preserve terpenes and get rid of any mold risks, you know. So try to keep it cool and dry, which kind of puts you where you want to be, you know, but it's not for the growth of the plant.
Yeah, I just use it as a basic guideline of reference, you know, like you said, to prevent mold, or, you know, if you're transitioning through the stage of life of the plant, you know, if you're trying to put more pressure on the leaves, you know, then you start referring back to BPD. But yeah, it's just a guideline or a reference.
My wife stepped out to get us some coffees. Wow, twist another hammer.
I tried going with BPD, but it was so hard for me to achieve without good air and heat control in that room. I just try to keep it from molding. That's all. That's all I can do.
Oftentimes, though, Art, man, if you take what, like, you've been growing for a long time, and if you just take what you find to be optimum growth range and you happen to look over at a VPD chart, even if you're not including leaf temperature surface, I think it's a 2 degrees different than the air temperature. It depends. Some charts get a little more involved, but you're usually pretty much right in range anyhow, you know, just using that. And we always, the VPD is pretty much just telling you how thirsty the air is. And the thirst of the air will dictate the stomata opening and how much your plants will move moisture or move, you know, water or fertigation solution through them, and, you know, taking in nutrients. That's why when it's in a situation like ours, when it's cold, if we're running a cold climate in my sort of a grow, I'll raise the EC a little bit because the plants will transpire less. therefore getting the same amount of nutrients in them with them taking less. And then if they're running in a hot environment, if I'm growing in the summer in my style, I'll lower the EC because they're processing so much water that they still get the same amount of nutrients over the course of a 24-hour period. And that's nothing to do with VPD. That's just based on what I know, watching plants grow and fucking them up. Excuse my language,
Cutting them down, throwing them off the cliff.
Yeah, man. I messed that one up. We'll do better next time,
Yeah, that's where my strawberry coffee is right now.
I find the plant physiology shit, or whatever they call that, plant biology, I find that very interesting. Kind of fascinating, actually.
Takes you back to high school.
I saw a meme. Yeah, it does. I saw a meme the other day that said it showed this person, their eyes were all glowing and shit, and it said me explaining to my family photosynthesis at the Christmas dinner, and it was a great one. And I was thinking that's so spot on, man. Someone says about growing, you start going off. Your family starts rolling their eyes like, oh, here he goes again. That's he's going to go off. But I usually do that whenever someone in my family will preach religion to me or something. I'll start talking about growing, knowing that that's what they don't like that. So I figured one good, uncomfortable conversation deserves another, right?
Yeah, we were at work, and one of my coworkers, she had a little plant there at her desk, and like it was getting sick, and like they were all talking about it, but I didn't want to interject. I didn't want to interject because I don't want people knowing I know about plants. They'll be like, "How do you know so much about plants?"
Hey, just tell them horticulture is my second passion, man. I love growing petunias, tomatoes. They don't have to know what you're growing. You know what it is? It's our guilty consciences, Jace. You've probably been growing when it wasn't legal or whatever, too. So it's like we think that, but I don't know. If someone came and start talking to me about something, we don't just take it there. It's us. I've thought of that many times. Like, I don't want to smoke a joint with these people because I don't want them to know I grow. And I'm thinking, how would they know I grow? They're going to think I'm like everybody else and just bought a bag of weed. But in my mind, they already know I grow. And I'm thinking, don't smoke with them. But I know what you mean. So did you help them?
No, I bit my lip and just played ignorant. I don't want to have to explain it.
Dude, I could picture Jace there like sketching out a drawing of why potting up is important on root mass and doing all kind of different things. And here's what you got to do. We got to get some nitrogen in here. That's fun.
I'll have to sneak my Parapin in my lunchbox and just test the runoff on it and everything.
I was gonna say he'll have it sitting up on a crate, getting runoff and. Yeah, that's funny. That's good.
And you got a loop looking at the plant, It's like
just checking for pest pressures.
Oh my gosh.
They would be looking at you like gold. I don't know what
the hell,
Jace, but they would be looking at you like, what the hell? You come in. He don't say much until my plant's sick, and then he's a plethora of information. Our buddy Mountain Dan that's in the chat there earlier, he used to work around a bunch of other people too. And this lady had a sick plant and he actually took it home and nursed it back to health. One of the doctor's offices where he worked, remember that plant he nursed back to health? It was like looked like a little rubber tree or something almost. There he is.
He has a lot of cool things in his garden too. It's
he'll remember what I'm talking about. You ain't the first one to say the word plant.
No, but he's got all kind of plants in his in his tent. Man, he's got a variety of plants, not just strains.
Cactuses, chili peppers, tomatoes,
really cool.
Weed plants, and it's shelving in there and everything else. He'll remember. Maybe he'll put it up.
And the diversity of color.
We didn't know what the plant was. Remember, we was Googling the pictures of it. We had all these different guesses, and then I think he found out what the real deal was later on. But
oh no, it didn't make it. Well, I'm sure it wasn't the lack of you trying.
No, honestly, I don't take care of the other plants around my house. I mean, just my tent, but Like everything outside, it's all like dying. I don't water anything. I just let it go. Like the only thing that gets water outside is the shrubs in front of my room here where they get the runoff water that pumps out from my condensate pump. Everything else outside looks like it's half dead.
As soon as the sun comes up, man, you can find me outside watering all the petunias and the wildflowers. I planted a bunch of wildflowers and just everything.
Yeah, we have herbs and different things growing, and
I enjoy that time, Jace. I make coffee. I get my cat. She follows me around like a damn dog outside. You know, she just walks with me, and that's a fun.
Yeah, it is a fun. It's fun to wake up and take care of your plants like that.
It's cool out. The birds are chirping and shit. I love the mornings. I'm definitely a morning person. I'll be in bed at 9:30, but I'll be up at 4 every day. Cheers, CC 420.
And our Frisian duck is doing great. It's amazes me that I just put a little water on it occasionally when I feel like it's getting dry, and it's doing so good. I don't have to mix nutrients, test the pH, test the EC, put it on every day, a couple times a day. I'm really digging the soil. It's really this is going to be so much fun. I'm so happy that we're doing this.
It's our soil.
Thank you, C person. Yeah, it is our soil we made.
I'm already picturing you guys just lugging like 5-gallon buckets of your soil down into your house or whatever, upstairs or wherever you guys do your setup. You're gonna do cocoa and you're gonna be like, man, I wish this was my bed. And then you're gonna take your bed inside.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait to plant them out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And Smut and I were thinking about just putting it right into the garden when it's ready.
As soon as they go legal, seed person, that'll be the first year that we won't have tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, all that shit. It'll just be weed from one side to the next, man. Cannabis, I should say.
Man, I'm looking at that Frisian duck, and it's got some wicked looking leaves on it.
Well, they don't start now. Seed person told me that that's normal.
Yeah, we have it inside.
It looks like a first set of leaves on any seedling, but then the second set of leaves is going to look really interesting.
Yeah, we're excited. We're stoked. But yeah, she looks totally normal right now, which, beautiful. She is absolutely beautiful to me.
Nice and purple.
I know we do need a fence and no one can see it. You know what kind of sucks with that mountain, Dan? We live on a sort of a hill. So the next house up has like a 8-foot grade increase over our house. So when I come out of my back door and I'm looking at my neighbors, there's a 6-foot privacy fence or whatever right there between our houses. But their porch is still 4 feet above that, so they can look from their back porch right down into my yard. And I mean, they're not the nosiest people, but they have a pool in their backyard. They're in and out all the time, cooking out and shit. So, it's hard. You can't do much back there without them being able to see it, smell it.
But it's nice because they have we're not sure that he's graduating high school. We know that. So we're not sure how old he is, but he smokes weed. We've seen him a couple times with his bong and smoking on the porch. So he creates that smell that I'm so happy. I'm like, finally, it's not just coming from our yard. Then when people are going to be looking for that smell, they're not just looking at us. We'll point over there like, we don't know. Maybe over there. I'm not sure. I don't know where that smells.
Well, there's another guy down the road that smokes it too. And I swear that kid, he buys it off of the guy down the road. And I'm thinking, there's all kind of action going on outside. I can see that dude coming up, going in the backyard with that kid. Then 10 minutes later, I smell the weed and that dude's walking down the road. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I don't care what they do as long as they don't do it on my property. And I don't mess with any of them people.
Plus, I'm thinking they're going to get busted way before they ever come looking for Smart and I, because we don't do anything but talk to you guys about it. You're the only people that see our grow aside from a couple relatives.
Yep.
Yeah, I smoke on my back patio, but it's legal here though, and it's legal to smoke anywhere that it's legal to smoke tobacco here. So
That's
you can
great
smoke in
rule.
public if you want.
That's
Not
the way
here.
it should.
You got to be out of sight.
Yeah, I don't smoke in public, but I'll smoke in my backyard, and I'm just waiting for one of my neighbors to say something. I don't know, or join in, one of the two.
Well, like, say you're out fishing, by the lake, and you want to fire up a joint. It's fine to do there, as long as there isn't like a bunch of little kids running around by you. I don't see how anybody can be upset about that. You can fire it up, man. I like that rule. If you can smoke cigarettes, you should be able to smoke weed, because we all know that cigarettes are way worse for you than cannabis.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just weird being out in public and having that. I mean, it's been legal here for like 6 years. I think it was 2018 when they passed, but. Yeah, I think I was at the fair. Yeah, people were just smoking joints out there at the state fair. That was wild.
I think that was the same year that Canada went legal. It was the same year that you guys went legal.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to be going to a local festival of some sort and be walking through and smelling people smoking weed right at that festival, or off to the smoking section where everybody's smoking their cigarettes. They're firing up some weed too. That'll be amazing. I cannot wait for that day. I cannot wait for Pennsylvania to let me grow weed in my living room. Come on, guys. I want to move my grow space.
You have to smoke here. If you're a cannabis patient, you have to smoke inside your home. You're not allowed on your porch. You're not allowed anywhere. It has to be in your house, the privacy of your home, or a home, I guess. It even said, like in the shit I was reading, it said not on a porch, an outdoor dwelling. Like you can't stand in your shed and blaze up. It has to be in your house. I'm thinking, this is nuts, man.
Hey, the American one makes a good point. Medical can be a good excuse for the smell. If you have a medical card, then of course you're going to be
what's
allowed
better
to
than
smell that.
Recreationally legal.
Oh yeah, well we're waiting on that. Let's go, PA. They're starting to look at the money they're losing to these other states that surround our whole state. I mean, come on. All that revenue, get in on it, PA.
At a certain point, I don't care which side of the aisle you stand on, Republican or Democrat. When you lose enough money, you start to change your mind on anything, on any policy. So it's just bound to topple. But I'll be a son of a bitch if they're on.
They're making us wait. Like, damn, come on.
I want to say, I hope it goes through this year.
Oh, me
That'd
too.
be great.
But we'll still have like.
That's wild how strict y'all state is, because we're here in the Bible Belt, and we're usually one of the last states to get anything like tattoos. It took a long time for us to have legal tattoos, and the lottery. I remember when the lottery came here, that was a big thing, and High Point beer.
Really, tattoos, huh?
Yeah, we didn't have tattoo. I got a tattoo in high school. I just turned 18. We still had to go to Texas. I think it was early 2000s or when they legalized tattoos here. And then not too long after that, they did the lottery. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
That does seem really peculiar.
Yeah.
Because, tattoo parlors have been around forever. That was just, even in
that was a Bible Belt.
Yeah, it's against biblical dogma.
Yeah.
Which was shocking because we approved medical marijuana the first time around, and it won by almost a landslide. So we were ready for it.
Hey, you did good.
Not recreational though. They got rejected last year, so we'll see about this year.
You guys don't have recreational at all?
No, just medical.
And it's Wild West there too. That's really weird.
Yeah, they're pretty relaxed on the medical laws here, like possession and growing. Pretty much do what you want.
That's awesome. I don't watch the news. Maybe things are relaxed in PA, but it doesn't seem. But a few years, just 2 years ago, someone was getting a DUI because of cannabis right in front of our house. So that kind of scared me, made me paranoid. I just don't trust.
It was like
anybody.
It was a week before the last Prisoner Project too. That's what.
in all fairness, I mean, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be driving around smoking, but I mean, it's just like drinking and driving, you know. I mean, you're still impaired. I mean, you're probably in better shape, but still shouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
I never drive when I smoke. Like I wait an hour.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, I agree with you. It shouldn't be, getting, smoking and driving. Of course.
I want to say hi to XYZ, but I had to mute you, man. It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel, man.
Yeah,
He's on a plane.
No, I'm on a plane.
Some airplane. I like that.
Behind me. Hold on, I'm trying to work on my audio. I got my iPods in, but it's stupid thing.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man, that well. You know what? Someone go ahead and mute him. We got here. Let me see this. Something's going down here. Here comes the American one. Hey, you know what? Someone messaged me the other day and said, whoever's on your show, because people actually watch this show after the fact, and someone messaged me, you can go back and look. It said, tell that one guy to fix his mic because it's so annoying to hear the clicking noise the whole show. And I said, you can see what I replied back. Like, we've tried to work on it with different people. I can't hear it during the show. I never hear that clicking noise.
No, I can hear.
But they were saying in the chat, or in the comment section, and that was just on the other day. Cheers, Tal. How's it going, man?
The American one. Cheers.
Not too bad. I had to come up and defend. I smoke while I'm driving quite often, but not really driving, and not as much as I used to, because like this is what it was. When I'd be driving and you hit traffic where you come to a complete stop, that's when I have my pipe with me at all times. That's when I would pull out the pipe, take a couple hits, and get through the traffic spot, man, because traffic sucks, and it was horrendous back in New York, and there's still spots here, but nothing like New York. So yeah, I think if you're in a traffic jam, it's all right to hit the pipe. Don't let anybody see you.
I wasn't throwing shade or anything. I wasn't judging. I'm just talking for me personally, because I wouldn't leave the house with anything. It comes to my house in a seed form and it leaves in the air.
There you go.
Yeah, unless I'm like taking it to work to gift to my buddy, then I like triple bag it and tuck it up under. My car has like a little compartment underneath the back of the trunk and shit. So I'm just super paranoid, but y'all do what you want. I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, same here. I think we're just super paranoid because Smart and I used to drive around smoking all the time, but then we started growing, and I didn't want any of that traced back.
There's another layer, yep.
I'm like, I don't, because we're growing it, we got to either do that or, we got to stop smoking it everywhere, take it. Now, we'll take joints and smoke them other places, but.
Plus, I started my own company, so I have all my vehicles have advertisement on the side. I can't be cruising
right,
around.
so there's a phone number. Oh yeah, I got
my phone number. I can't cut people off and shit. I got magnets on the sides of the cars and trucks.
Dude, my boss.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. My boss got a phone call from somebody. So yeah, because I drove for an electrical contractor for like a while, and I drove for a supply house for air conditioning and refrigeration shit. And somebody saw me smoking a pipe, and she called up the boss, and the boss, and she tells the boss he was definitely smoking a marijuana pipe, because I know what a marijuana pipe looks like. And so I had a glass pipe, yeah. So I denied it. I was just like, I don't know what she's talking about. Maybe it was a lighter or something. I was just smoking cigarettes with my lighter. And like everybody knew, because I reeked like weed all the time at that point in my life. I didn't give a fuck back then at that time. And yeah, it was pretty funny though. But somebody called up and said something. He's like, well, don't let me get another phone call like that.
Dude, when I was younger, I had to drive to the city every day for my job, down to the city of Pittsburgh, which I don't live in the city of Pittsburgh. So you know how city driving is. I was the same way, Tal. I would roll like 2 joints to take with me. I'd smoke one on the way to work. I hit the other half on it at lunchtime and smoked the rest of it on the way home. My car always smelled like weed. And I'm thinking, I skated by so long without a DUI. DUIs are
Yeah,
so, they're
lucky,
so
dude. We're
freaking
lucky.
expensive. Yeah,
You know,
man, driving back and
Yeah.
forth. And anymore,
but
I don't trust myself, man, to not, I'd feel bad if I wrecked into somebody, you know?
oh yeah, yeah. Even if it wasn't your fault, if you wrecked into someone where you
Yep.
have the shit in your hands, you're in trouble. You know,
Yep.
even if you had nothing to do with it. But
Yep.
yeah, that's so true. So you should have, people should take responsibility. No, I'm joking. Do whatever you want. That's what I say. But you guys changed
Hey,
my mind now. Yeah, you guys changed my mind.
you know what? I do carry weed with me sometimes, like Seed Person said. I'll double bag a couple joints and then go to the hiking spot or wherever we're going to. If we're going to like a pool party for the day or something, I'll sneak some there with me. But I don't smoke it to and from. And I make sure that I got my seatbelt on. I check my lights before I leave and shit, And we try to do.
Yeah, we're gonna be safe.
You know the
We-
number one rule: only break one law at a time. So don't be having your headlights out while you're in a getaway car, a bank robbery.
Don't get caught slipping, man, on something stupid like
You know,
the one thing they like to get you on. I bet everybody
license
tries to
plate
check
light.
that now. The license plate light, man, and they're so easy to go out, and you can't, that's an easy one to slip by you when you're doing a light check.
And the cops always have a reason to pull you over. Like, yeah.
$3.99. It's all little Bob calls.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting I'm not in the same place that I was, because another incident that happened was, I'm a scofflaw because driving, because I hate wasting my time in traffic. It's just a waste of valuable time. But anyway, I digress. The one time that I was driving and there was a big backup, and then that HOV lane was like cruising good. So I look around, there's no one around. I went right to the HOV lane, past, all the shit. Cop pulls me over. He's like, man, it smells heavily like marijuana in this vehicle. I'm like, I don't smell anything. I'm like, I don't smell anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I just denied it. And I'm like, maybe it's coming from over the fence. And like they had these walls up for the highway so that it didn't disturb the neighborhood next door.
Yep.
They were like 20 feet high. Yeah, they were like 20 feet high. I'm like, maybe it's coming from over that, someone's house over there. But he couldn't do anything and he let me go. And that was like one of the things that I say, like, and other instances too. I'll tell you another quick one if you guys don't mind.
No,
I had extra.
It's words of wisdom, man. We need these nuggets of gold.
All right, so and I'll get to the point. But I had extra tickets. We went to a Pink Floyd concert. I had extra tickets, so I was like, anybody need a ticket or whatever? And it just so happens, my luck, that NYPD was doing a bust of cracking down on scalpers. Yeah, so they pulled me around the corner into this van because like they don't want to let anybody know the undercover's there. And, they take you around the corner so that you don't see you getting processed or whatever. So I go in there, blah, blah, blah. They're doing all the shit. They're like, all right, so you're selling tickets for a profit. I'm like, no, I was going to sell them for face value. I just had him to have an extra when I wanted to get rid of it. They're like, all right, whatever. We're doing a sting for a scalper, so we're going to give you a ticket. So they gave me the ticket. And as he's letting me go, he goes, and, by the way, just be happy we didn't search it because I could smell that weed on you. I don't know where you have it, but it reeks.
Oh,
and he let me go.
That's cool, man.
But the point of both of those stories is, like, there is white privilege, man. I believe it. Because if I was, like, Hispanic or a black person, I think it might have been a different outcome. 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I always add that to those stories because I feel lucky, really lucky, knock on wood, that I haven't ever gotten in trouble for the cannabis plant.
Here's a good one that happened to me not long ago, and it's nothing like that. But I was doing a job, Tal, and I pulled into this lady's house. I was going to do her bar area downstairs in her basement. So she had sliding doors. I was able to back right up to it, start unloading my stuff in there. I walk in. It's totally empty, except for on the bar sits a big bong and a jar full of buds, man. And I walked in to set down a crate of tools, and I'm looking up. I'm like, all right, these people are cool. So then I turn around. I know what they did too. So I turned around. I go back out the sliding doors. I grab another crate of tools and I'm heading back in. And right as I'm coming back in, I look up and the bong and shit's gone. And I look over and I see the door just starting to shut. It was like the last inch was shutting. So I think they forgot that I was coming, or they forgot that they left their shit downstairs or whatever. And so the lady snuck down. And she was probably watching out the window and she timed it perfect. She sneak in and get out. And it was about an hour later. Here comes this lady looking like a lawyer. She had like a 3-piece suit on and a suitcase and everything else. And she introduced herself all formally. And I told her who I was. And she's like, you know, blah, 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 the whole deal. But it was pretty cool, man, that those people had, it looked like a nice jar of nugs too. And I'm thinking, yes, you know, another smoker. Always happy when I run into another smoker. You know,
I'll tell you one that's not as positive. I went to a job in these people's house, and we do like high-end custom kitchens, right? So these, you know, all our customers are rich, and these people had they had shit all over their table because they had all their kitchen stuff moved over to their dining room. But on the corner of the table, they had a spoon, and it was like a fancy spoon set up with a little candle and shit, and a sleeve of pills. Just like sitting there. And I was like, oh shit. And then we just brought all their cabinets inside and set them down and left. But I was like, did you guys see that? You know, and everybody's like, no, I didn't see that. And I was like, maybe it's just me because I'm an addict or whatever.
Great setup, man.
Wow.
Yeah, just sitting there on the dining table.
That's a tough life, man. You don't wish that on anybody, you know? You definitely got to avoid the feel if you're engaging in those activities.
Yeah, I was lucky on that front too, man. I never got into the cocaine, never did crazy pills, never. I was like, how could anybody shoot something into their own vein? Like,
yeah, man,
that's just a little dramatic for me, I think, you know. But
it's definitely not for everybody. You know, I used to say that too, Tal. I used to say like I could never do that, man. And then one day I did that, you know. And it's just what changes you.
I'm with you, Tal. Like I'm deathly afraid of needles. I would never give blood. Like they'd have to strap me down. But I think like maybe pain would be a big motivator. If I had enough pain, I know I could give myself a shot to take away the pain. You know what I mean? But I am with you on that. And it's weird because I've known Smot. It'll be 10 years at the end of this month. We met for the first time on July 28th. And in all those years, he does not strike me as that person that could do that either. You know,
but yeah,
crazy.
Shit happens. You know, definitely. I understand.
Yeah, man. I was full blown.
It happens. Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, man. I used to be a heroin addict, man. I actually went to prison for robbing a drugstore back in the 90s whenever OxyContin came around. I was all wild out on it, dude. I was a young man, early 20s, and strung out like a research monkey, and started robbing pharmacies, man. Got busted for one, ended up getting a 10-year sentence, did 6 years, and got out on parole.
And you've been all right since?
No, I come home from jail, ended up for about 2 years, I ended up back on drugs. So you would think that I would have learned my fucking lesson, right? Nope. Total idiot.
No.
I wasted a bunch more time, man, and had to go. Had to rebuild my whole life, man. I've squandered away fortunes and good, honest people that was in my life. I squandered that away, and I have enough regrets the last 5 people's lifetimes. But you know what? And it's a very shameful thing that I it's a big shame on me, you know, that I hate. But look at me now, man. I have a wonderful wife, which is my most prized possession, if you will. She's not my possession. You know what I mean? That's the most, the company of the people I keep now is second to none, man. And people actually, they trust me with money. I have my own business and a mortgage, so people can come back from that, man. And I was a straight needlehead. I'd shoot a bundle of heroin every day, you know. I'd buy it by the brick and flip it and get all kind of free shit, rip people off, break into people's cars and steal and shit. The American one. I was the piece of shit that deserved to be shot out someone's fucking bedroom window. but it doesn't always have to be that way. You know, some of those people have morals and values deep inside, but they get caught up. I remember shooting dope and crying, man, because I hated who I'd become. But it was like a fucking monster was on me, and I would yearn for it like a person yearns for food or water, you know. And so it's just a bad thing. And when I hear those stories, like people and those needles and shit, it's not because something happened to me, Tal, and everybody. One day it was like someone flipped the switch. I used to be an animal when I was using. I didn't give a fuck about anybody or anything, you know. And then someday it was just like a switch flipped, man, and it made me sick. I didn't want it anymore, man. You couldn't give it to me, you know. And I just feel blessed that happened to me. I don't know why or what happened, but you know, it just did. And I think a part of it was getting straightened up. And you know, not too long after I got straightened up, I met my wife, and that changed my whole outlook on life and how fun it could be and all the other things. But yeah, that's why I don't have any kids or nothing, man. I used to be fucking wild when I was young, Tal, you know?
Well, I'm glad you're more level-headed today, dude. You're an awesome
yeah.
person, man.
He is an awesome person. And, you know, when he told me these stories, I couldn't believe that they happened to him because it just didn't seem like him. This is a man who had surgery and was prescribed narcotics and duly so, you know, rightfully so, because he had just been cut open, but he would not take them. And that was, to me, was so impressive that, you know, you were that steadfast in your sobriety.
Yeah, that shit, it's not good for me, you know? And yeah, man. So people always say, like, oh, congratulations. I'm saying all I do now is be a normal person. That's not something that should be congratulated. To me, addiction is a culmination of many bad decisions, but it's not really a moral shortcoming. You know, addiction does not discriminate, man. I've learned that from some of the people that I got high with over the years. But anyhow, this is a positive show, and that's a positive thing that people can come back from that. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only person listening that's ever had a problem with pills or alcohol or something that had a better hold on them than they did on it, you know. And tobacco is the worst one of the worst. I struggle with that all the time.
No comment.
Yeah.
Tobacco's tough. I mean, that's a tough one. And cheers to Ross.
And I did exactly like what you. I quit once for a year. It was exactly 1 year, or like a year and a week or something. And then another time I quit for like 3 years, and I ended up starting again.
It's expensive. It's disgusting, man. It makes everything black. Ruins my teeth. Makes your skin.
You have to leave. You have to leave where you're at to go smoke one.
There's no upside to smoking. There's only everything to gain from quitting, except for you'll feel like shit for a while, you know. And the doctor told me once, Tal, if you could see on the outside of you, like what you're doing,
what it's doing to the inside. Yeah.
He said if you had a black spot on your leg that would grow at the rate that your lungs turn black and shit from smoking, he said it would scare the fuck out of you so bad you'd quit tomorrow. But he said since you can't see it, you know, it's if we don't do it. That hit me. And another one was this, Tal. The guy said he was a smoker. He went scuba diving with his wife they was on like a cruise, and he got stuck under the water and couldn't get up or whatever, started panicking. And he said he almost passed out and drowned. And he said once he broke the surface of the water and took in a big deep breath when he thought he was dead, he said that was the sweetest thing he ever breathed, and quit smoking right there. He said I never picked him up again. He goes, I realized what a privilege it was to be able to breathe nice, clean, fresh air. And I sat and thought about that. I was thinking, damn, you know, some of those were motivators to help me quit. But I still puff this. I got one of these. I call it a douche flute. It's one of these vape pens. It's called yeah, man. I look stupid like a little kid sucking my thumb or something, you know?
Yeah, but dude, I saw it. Well, and I don't know what else it might be doing, but they have there's this clip on IG that I haven't seen in a long time. But anyway, they do like you know, the water jugs at like an office water cooler. They fill 2 of those up with cotton balls, and through one they force regular cigarettes, and through the other one they forced vape pen. And the one they forced the regular cigarette through was black and dirty, and the other one was still pretty white. So it definitely has a different effect and better on some sort, you know.
I
Dude,
switched
yeah.
to the vape after because I was smoking cigarettes and I had like a chest cold thing, and this was during the Canadian wildfires and all the smoke was down here, and I just like could not breathe at all. I was like, can't do anything about the wildfire smoke, can't do anything about the chest cold, and I can do something about the cigarettes. So I switched to the vape too, and I like it. Like I read because I looked it up. I was worried about I used to hear stories about like popcorn lung and shit from vape juice and stuff like that. So I looked it up, and the stuff that I read said that switching to like a nicotine salt vaporizer versus a cigarette is like 95% healthier comparatively.
Look at Art Man.
Nice.
Yeah, one of those times I quit, I used like they were like almost new. They had like the ones that were like felt like a cigarette. They were like looked like a cigarette, a vape,
Yeah, and
like a
then the
cigarette.
tip lit up blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had one of those.
I smoked like 2 or 3 of those, and then I stopped doing that too. The one time I quit for like a year, or the 3-year one, yeah, they definitely can help.
Some people need to quit cold turkey. I cut back slowly and then cold turkey. The wife cut back a lot, used the vape pen to cut back her dosage, but she was smoking since she was 12, so I congratulate her and I'm so proud. So
Yeah, I'm reading this chat, man. And it seems like a lot of people, APM, XYZ was on the show, or he had some connectivity issues. Looks like he had some problems in the past. Ganja Ghost, congratulations. She's 7 months without that. It seems like a lot of people in the chat are overcoming, Addiction's a tough one, man. There's a lot of shame that comes with addiction and shit. It's hard to reach out whenever people find yourself addicted. And I will say that people sometimes, I think they chuckle under their breath, but if you are listening and that's something you struggle with, you can reach out to anybody here. You can get a hold of me and I'll help you, man. There's ways to get clean from a lot of things, and there's not shame in it. You can do it. And someone told me once in rehab that I was worth it, and I said that's true. You're worth it for sure.
I'm also here if anybody needs anything. You can reach out to me too, because I also did. I went through it. I did sober living and all that as well. So I have some.
And it can be tough to find placement, huh, Steve Person? Sometimes it's hard to find different things. So I actually have, if someone's in Pennsylvania, I actually have a close family member that works in drug and alcohol, in a high, lofty position. They've been there for years and years and years, and they can sometimes help me out. I've got more than one person a bed pretty quick by using her, and I try not to ask a lot. And so I think when I do ask, it carries a little weight. But yeah, that's, if anyone has a issue, let us know.
Smoke more cannabis too. It helps.
Damn right.
Or eat more.
I got my wife on a cookie a day. She just started like 3 days ago. We went on that trip and we couldn't smoke, so I brought some cookies and she's like, "Are you gonna eat that other one?" I was like, "No, absolutely eat it." So she's been on doing that and sleeping better, and her anxiety is down a little bit at least.
That's good. Awesome.
I was reading the chat. And I saw Abolished Farmer said he's addicted to toxic women. Can you help him with that?
Damn.
You're gonna have to talk to your mom, bro. No, I love it. I just gotta give him a little shit because he talks shit on Instagram all the time.
Classic. Go ahead, Tal. I'm sorry. You're a cook. You can do it yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 things. One, when you start out doing whatever it is that you get addicted to, it's really fun, and it could even be, or it definitely seems like it benefits you some way or another. Like you're more creative, you're more outgoing, you're more fun, and then something happens when you need more and more, or maybe even not when you need more and more. It comes a time where shit just don't work right no more. And that's when you got to stop doing it. So, but I totally believe like people that two things. If people get clean and they're interested, I think everyone who goes through rehab and accomplishes it, they should do a skydive jump. I said that before, man, because when I did it, it was like a total reset of reality because you just did something that was totally fucked up. And
Yeah.
Cannabis is like chameleon medicine, man. If you need to go to sleep, you can find the shit that'll help you go to sleep. If you need something that will keep you awake or help you do something, you can find shit that'll do that. And whatever it needs. And yeah, there's a lot of stories of people coming off of opiates that just like overdose on the RSO, and it definitely helps them get through some of the withdrawal symptoms, if nothing else, right?
Most definitely. Most definitely. You brought up a good point, Tal, and I've often wondered this. How do I want to word this so I don't get my head bit off? Can cannabis become, if you smoke too much of it all the time and it becomes like an issue, can you see a place where cannabis in some people's lives can be a problem? I know it's non-addictive.
Yeah, definitely like not
It
a
doesn't
problem.
impact our breathing, right?
It's a
I mean,
different
that's why
kind
you
of
can't overdose.
it's a problem, but it's a different kind of problem. Like you wouldn't be going to steal people's money to go buy weed, probably, but you might want to smoke weed so much that you might not be motivated to go get a job. So you
Right.
know,
So there
yeah,
is
I
an
can see
unhealthy
that.
amount. I think it's like
Yeah,
anything, Tal, and I agree with you. I think there's an unhealthy amount. Just like say, I always use this orange juice. If you were drinking 5 gallons a day, that would be an unhealthy amount. You know what I mean? It's great to
probably.
have a
Yeah,
little bit of orange juice, get your vitamin C or whatever, but
yeah.
you see the comparison. I think, and I sometimes think I walk that. I'll smoke 10 joints a day when we're in full blown winter time and I'm at home just loading the firebox all day, keeping the house warm and shoveling. I just sit here around here and smoke all day, And I think sometimes it is. I think it lowers my available oxygen in my blood, and shit like that. Just the act of smoking that much is a little unhealthy, and it does. It puts me in like a sometimes I could smoke so much I feel like I'm in a downer mood. It's a cold
Yeah.
winter's day, dark early. You know what I mean? So I think that
Hmm.
you can get it to a bad place.
Well, I think too much of anything can be a bad thing. I mean, just anything in general. There's a balance to everything in life, but what that balance is, I mean, it's up to you to find
It,
out. You know.
I would say it's different for different people too, for sure, right?
For sure.
And you build a
Some people,
tolerance though too to the weed. Like if you're smoking the same strain, I definitely experience tolerance builds up.
yeah, this
I
is why
think
we don't monocrop.
I think that at least for me, it's always when I quit everything back in treatment, I was like, I'm never gonna touch anything again. I'm gonna just be sober. And then when I picked up weed, I decided it's only for enhancing my life, not escaping my problems. And I think if you can use that, like escaping pain is one thing, but escaping like, okay, I'm gonna procrastinate from dealing with some serious shit that I have to deal with, and I'm gonna smoke weed instead and watch funny shows or something. That's not okay for me to do. Like I have to take care of my shit first, and then I can
Yeah.
chill out and smoke. If I'm in pain and it's gonna help me take care of my shit, then I can smoke. But I can't just smoke and fuck off if I have stuff to do.
I feel that way too. Now I'll get up in the morning, have my coffee, smoke a joint in the garden or whatever. And then it's like, I feel like I have to get some productivity done before I've earned the right to sit down and smoke. If I just sit here all day and don't do nothing and just smoke joint after joint, watch TV or whatever, I feel guilty and like very non-productive, and it's almost emasculating, And so I do have a limit to where I turn into like a shithead because I'm smoking a lot more than I really should. But I definitely don't want to give the impression that smoking a lot of weed every day is bad. I just think, like we've
For
said,
medical,
for some people, it can be an issue.
and for some people might need a lot for the medical issues too. It's been enlightening how much of a medical benefit is in my existence because When I started smoking, it was for the fun of it, man, for sure.
I gotta send you some more cookies. I've been meaning to do that, and I just haven't
I
had time. But
I got to thank everyone, man. Again, Seed Person, Lone Star
yeah.
Love sent me stuff. I seen you just sent me shit.
Oh hell yeah.
Collective Marijuana or Mary Jane. I don't know what he's using nowadays, but he sent me like stuff twice. Everybody's just fucking awesome. Friend Anderson, a while back, sent me stuff. Everybody, it's just so awesome.
I
And
can't
yeah,
wait to try the Stacy, man, and let us know what you think.
oh, I smoked one little bowl of it. It was very good, dude. But I'm still saving it because
It's like a year old, man, and sat in my fridge all packaged up for like a week. Same with the RSO. Now the RSO, I find that I'm building a tolerance quickly to that. I don't know
yeah.
how much of that was there enough in there for a couple doses, maybe.
Oh yeah, man. That was more than a couple of doses, I would say. Yeah, because I am mixing it with the other RSO, and I think that's totally a true thing, man. The different types you get, but definitely, yeah. Whatever's missing from those two strains that made up the one RSO, the other RSO, whoever made those strains might have has the different stuff in it. So
Like the entourage effect, man. That's why we
yeah,
mix
Yes.
like 12 different strains
there
just
you
to
go,
make that
man.
RSO. Yeah.
So the more we put in there, I think the better. Like the more
Yep.
strains, the better, I think. And we definitely want to make that again. It's good medicine.
I had a crazy theory one time, and I definitely started it. I don't know what happened, but if you get the strains that are land races from every continent of the world and like breed them into one strain, so you take like the one from Africa and cross it with the one from Afghanistan, and then you get the one from there was a land race in Ireland or wherever there was a land race, and get them all, cross them all together. Then you get the magic weed that like unlocks something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I think mixing them together is great because I think exactly what you said. One might have more of a certain terp or cannabinoid or whatever, esters, and say one's a little less on that, if it has more of something else. When you put them together, you're getting you're getting a big influx of everything, whatever one might be missing. And I think that's pretty cool, and it makes sense that it works like that. I like the RSO or whatever it is, the FICO. I guess we've been miscalling what we made. We call it RSO, but it's not. I guess something's different about it. So
it's what's been made to the process.
The process of it, yeah.
What's involved in what goes into the product as you're making it.
RSO was made with naphtha. That's what medicine used.
Yeah.
Pico is using alcohol. I don't really see much of a distinction, but that's
well,
all.
RSO would be FICO too, because
yeah, same thing, yeah.
But genetic
You're
memory
muted, person.
Sorry,
go ahead now.
Made a great point. Just the process of how much time it takes to roll a joint or to smoke whatever you're smoking, that takes away from your time. And that's like, if you smoke a lot, that takes a lot of time out of your day, man. Rolling up a joint, packing the bong, ripping the bong.
Yeah.
Dabs.
It up. Yep. The paper. Then you roll it up. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Then people have to press it. If you're a big dabber and you were starting, there was a time where I remember people getting their rosin press. You wouldn't see them for a week because that's all they did. They sat in front of that thing and pressed out flour and did fucking dab hits for a week.
Looks like Seed Person smoking the most recent thing. You're muted, Seed Person, probably by design, but I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, I was just gonna roll one up, but I wanted to show that nug off because this is super frosty, and it's. I'm so glad I kept it. It's amazing, the flapjacks.
Nice. That's cool. That's nice. I remember when you first got the seeds, you were like. Actually, you were on this show talking to everybody like, I'm looking for something that has like a maple flavor, blah, blah, blah. And then you found the flapjacks and you ordered them, right? Am I thinking correctly?
Yeah, and it was like $120 for for a 5-pack or something like that, and then I found there was like somebody had a promotion with a 2-pack of the flapjacks for like $12, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing that. So and then one of them hermed really bad, and the other one is this one, and it's just amazing. So it's super tasty, and it's really good high.
Nice.
It's not super mapley though, but it is something. It smells like kind of like fruit syrup that you would get like at IHOP. It's like fruity more than syrupy, but it does have hints of syrup.
Damn, I like that syrup at IHOP, man. Now I'm gonna want that shit. Everything, isn't it? Everything we eat is bad. I found out the other day that Dairy Queen ice cream cones aren't really ice cream because they don't have enough milk fat to call them ice cream. And I was thinking, damn it. It's like everything I love to eat is somehow bad for me. It doesn't matter.
There's an episode of The Simpsons from like 93 or something, and they're at Krusty the Clown, Krusty Burger or whatever, and he's like, there's a new place called McDonald's over in Shelbyville, and he's like, you know what they call they don't call it a Krusty's gelatinous milk product. They call it something else. He's like, what do they call it? He's like, a shake. Yeah, that was so weired.
Gelatinous
anyway, sorry,
milk.
I'm really high.
That's funny, man. That's great. I love it. The Simpsons were a cultural icon, man. They've been around forever.
But you can eat the Fico. That's good for you. And it's been helping Smart and I sleep a lot better too. So it's good medicine. And maybe that's the answer to toxic women is feed them a couple cookies, and if that doesn't work, push them out of an airplane.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yes, absolutely.
Airplane.
Hey, Rolling Smoke says Black Maple number 22 has maple flavor. I don't know if you heard that. And then CC420, I know of a strain that is cinnamon toast crunch and buttered pancakes called Twat Waffle.
Yeah, I'd like to try that, please.
But it does sound good for sure. Some of those strain names, huh?
Yeah, there was something else I was going to bring up, and now I can't remember what it was. It was a recent topic that we were talking about. Shit comes up during the week, and I'm thinking, oh, this would be. I wonder what their answer would be if someone else asked them this question. And I can't. I need to write them down more. They always come to me when I'm not around with pen and paper. You know, I'll start texting them. What I'll do is text them to my wife. I can't remember what it was. But anyhow, we're rolling up another one here. We still got a half hour.
Oh, shit. By the way, everyone, I might be a little early, but happy 4th of July, because I won't be able to see you maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, happy. I'm going to be working tomorrow, man. I got a whole wall where, oh, look, he's showing his plants.
That's a beautiful sight.
I got a wall tore out in my house. I got flooring tore up. I just finished sistering up some joists that had too many holes cut in them over the years and shit. I had to jack up one of them and put a new joist in. I had to do all kinds of shit, man. And now we're swapping out old cast iron sewage lines and shit in the walls and under the house, and it's just I got shit tore up everywhere. The roof's being redone. I'm still waiting for these people to come give estimates. It's really stressful going through home repairs, man. I just want to grow, get this fucking get done.
But yeah, we're getting this stuff done right now because we knew it was coming so that we can be growing. So these things are actually getting done, and I feel like we're actually. There's light at the end of the tunnel for growing because we're that much closer to it.
Because when the shit goes down, you better be ready. What's up, Seed Man? What are we looking at?
All the stuff y'all have seen all week. I feel like I've been on all the shows. Let me see what I got that's new. These clones are showing signs of rooting, so they'll be done pretty soon. Then I'm going to toss these over here.
Oh, they perked up though. Them ones are starting to look better. Are those the same ones that were kind of grumpy for a while?
Yeah, I might give them away. I have a friend that might take them.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Always hooking people
Can you
up.
all see that green?
If they're smart, they'll dip them in sulfur.
Oh, the monster.
Oh,
I see the green.
I do.
some fresh. Nice. Not many people I've seen do that monster crop move, man, because it requires a lot of time and space, you know, and it would be quicker to start a seed and grow it. But I like that people do it. I can't wait to watch it all the way. I hope you keep that one going, seed person.
Oh yeah, I'm smoking it right now actually, and like I'm always every time I open the jar and smell it, I'm like, yes, I'm so glad I saved it. So
yeah, that's
eventually,
what I love about it. You know, when you're at that stage, you can keep it alive, test out the smoke, and be like, you know what, I'm so glad that I saved this. When you haven't made a decision or you haven't taken a clone.
yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'll hit it to the mail from here, one of these, eventually, and put it in some seeds. Is the plan. And then, I have 2 new babies. I popped a kombucha cream and
Those ones you showed us. Yeah.
Nice.
Atlas seeds.
the banana cream sundae from Atlas as well.
Dude, those sound like I'm looking forward to watching those. I don't know what it is about those seeds. I like the names of both of those.
They both have cream in them. Maybe you like the cream. Are you a creamy guy, Smot?
Yeah.
I am.
I had to move these ones around because they got so big. That's why I was going to let that purple panty dropper go longer, but I had no room for it. So,
Oh, that looks nice. It fits over there. And you still got that little one.
this is the male nightmare cookies. That's going to go to this one and to these 2 over here a little bit. Just a little bit, hopefully.
So
maybe like 1 or 2 branches.
Okay, I was gonna say, you're just gonna take it over top of them and do a shimmy shake, or are you gonna just paint a couple?
I'll probably take it like I'll take the whole plant, and I'll cut it at the base, and I'll probably just bring it underneath here and kind of dust it up underneath while I have all the fans off and everything, and do the same for these 2. And then let it sit for an hour or so, and then come and spray everything down real good with some water, and turn the fans on high, and keep the tent open for a while. I might actually pull them all out and set them out in the room so that they don't have any like little microclimates when they're drying.
XYZ has a question for you.
I don't know yet. It's in the dryer.
Hey,
I don't wear panties, so I wouldn't be the one to test it. But,
the weed form of GHB. Rohypnol.
Does it only work on purple panties, or can you use it on pink? Or
That's a good question. Yeah, like Supreme Great said, for science, of course.
That's right.
Look at those. That's beautiful, man.
All in the name of science.
That's like when you get buds that look like that, it really exciting.
Gorgeous.
It's all got seeds all up in there, though.
Yeah.
This one got hit with the landrace male, but that's a happy accident, I think. I think that's going to be really nice. And then I got some cement shoes here. This is done pretty much. This got seeded as well. Like
Looks
a
like
lot
you're
more
gonna
than
get
I expected.
Okay.
Like,
it seems like you'll have some smokable bud, but then again, I'm not there breaking it up. If you're getting
Looks
more than
nice.
like 4 or 5 seeds of bud, man, it becomes real crappy because it's hard. You got all those little green casings in there that you're still smoking and shit, but it does look nice.
There's a lot of seed in there, but it looks like it's going to be all right to separate it out.
Seeds for sale.
Yeah.
$60 for a 20 pack.
Just make
Cement
sure you
shoes
remove
across to the Indian land race, the Waichin Valley. I'm going to call it Sherpa slippers.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it.
I'll be the marketing director. They're free. You just got to pay $50 shipping.
That's right.
Just a simple little donation for shipping of $50, and you can get 3 of those seeds sent to you in a vial.
Here's the testers. I picked some out a couple days ago and put them in a paper towel. Let me see if I can do this.
Nice.
Paper towel. How many days? They probably got big old taps on
This
them.
is like 2 days, 3 days maybe.
I can't see. I got real blurry.
Hang on.
Is anybody else real blurry?
It might be my connection. We got some crazy storms right now going on upstairs.
I think
The
I
house
see
was shaking earlier.
We got to see white, yeah.
Yep.
So that's cracked.
Mhm.
Nice.
Cheers, Marshall.
Yeah.
Nice.
One so far. Maybe that one is next. And then I got the purple panty dropper up there as well. And that one's I already tested that one like a week ago. And I put 3 up there and 3 of them popped. So I was like, cool. But then I wanted to test it one more time before I harvested it. And so I got 2 of them started showing white. So I was like, all right, good enough. I'm going to chop it down so I have the space. I'll just put these back in here.
What's the Indian crossed with? Martial artist wants to know. The Indian. Did I miss it?
No,
Yeah, it's from India.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
It went to the purple panty dropper, the cement shoes, and the Afghan land race, which is over here. This is the only one that's still seated. That was
Yeah.
This was intentional right here. The other 2 were accidental, but we'll call it a happy accident.
Like Bob Ross.
I like those happy accidents.
That's right. That's my little setup.
We'll get another.
And oh, I got some fucking stickers I'm gonna send out with these seeds that are just my logo. But I ordered them from stickerapp.com, and I got the tracking information today, and they're coming from Sweden is where they printed my stickers. I'm like, how much? I bought 50 stickers, and they're shipping them all the way from Sweden, where they custom printed them for me. I'm like, what the hell? No, it's like $26.
Nice.
I should get some stickers, man.
Well, I figured if I'm sending out seeds to people, I should put some stickers in with them.
And that's
Because
the
people
logo
like
you
that.
have, your new logo
Dude,
right
Yeah.
now. I love
Did I
it.
s- Did I send you the green pot leaf stickers?
Yeah. I got a bunch of them from like
Art
3 of your
Ma'am did
packages.
those. Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
does
cool.
those herself. Yeah, those look really nice too.
Oh,
Cool.
you know how many people sent me email or messages on Instagram asking me if I want any stickers or arts, logos, and I just blocked all of them. Now I kind of need one of them to rely on somebody else to tell
Shit.
me.
I forgot to mention Art Man. Art Man hooked me up too.
What's that?
I forgot to mention you earlier, Art Man. Thank you again, man. The
Oh,
posters look totally cool. And yeah, when you mentioned the pot leaves, that reminded me. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome.
Or what's in that bottle hanging up there? Looks like an IV bottle.
That would be pH down.
Oh, got a drip
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, sure do. I got a
You never seen Art Man set up?
monitor
Check
up there. Yeah, that's a pH doser. 5.8.
It's a slick
It's,
setup, dude.
It
yeah, it's got
is.
a, peristaltic pump. It pumps it down to the reservoir right there. So it's automatic. I love it.
Sweet.
Dosers. I got one for that one, and I got one for the larger reservoir
It
as
does
well.
look like a peroxide bottle or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I never noticed it before.
Actually, it's a nutrient bottle, but the pH bottle is inside of the nutrient bottle. So, oh man, I got to get some in there. I got to fill that up. Yeah, I screwed the other one to the board. It's just to hold it.
Looks like you're missing
I'm
2
curious
plants out
why
of there.
martial artists.
Yeah, I moved them all into
Yeah.
flower yesterday. They're into flower. So, and the one I had temporarily in the tent. God, I hate that tent. But anyway, I moved it in there too. The slurricane from Puffy D.
Looks like you thinned out that one quite a bit too. That thing was bushy as hell.
No, that's one of the clones that was in this one, so I didn't do anything to it. But it was just sitting there with another one, and they looked pretty thick. But you broke them apart, and they were a little thinner than what they looked. But you'll see them Sunday, though.
I want to ask martial artists why he's pasteurizing his cocoa. Now, I never did that. I'm going to assume that he might be putting it into a soil mixture and doesn't want to.
Or is making mushrooms.
Oh,
That's what you would do that for.
Oh, I was thinking he's mixing up the growing cocoa. I was thinking I never pasteurized. I was thinking what maybe he got a batch that was like full of bugs or something. What the hell's going on?
Pasteurizing is heating, right? It's heating until the bugs are gone.
Yes, invented by Louis Pasteur.
Ooh, very good. Thank you.
I don't know exactly how it goes, man. All I know is how to can tomato sauce and shit, make it last for a while. But I think pasteurizing is different.
Yeah, I think it's for like bacteria or something. Because I know if you have sous vide, you can pasteurize an egg and it'll still be raw.
When I worked at Pabst, I went up there and I was inside the pasteurizers and I was cutting them apart to ship them off. So they pasteurize beer as well.
Everybody's asking, is like AG's asking, is he killing microbes? I think if he wants to, Seed Person's the one that knows about growing mushrooms, and these guys know about it more than me. But I guess the just as you start out sterile as you possibly can, so that so that only those take hold. Is that pretty much right?
Yeah. The way I do it, which is the lazy way, I take my cocoa and vermiculite and gypsum and put them in a 5-gallon bucket and then boil distilled water and then pour it in the bucket and stir it up and let it sit for like 8 hours.
Okay.
That like kills everything. And then
Yeah.
put it in the tote with the mycelium, the inoculated rice or whatever. So that there's nothing else there, and then it can colonize that as a medium.
We want to grow some mushrooms sometime. I'm not a big mushroom eater. I wouldn't mind microdosing, but I think the RSO is pretty good. I know they're two different things for two separate issues or whatever. I shouldn't say issues. I think they, different things.
That's synchronistic. I was just talking to like the most normal, like regular person about microdosing at work today. Not a stoner or anything like that. And she's like a mom, but she was like, yeah, I did the microdosing. I was like, oh, me too. So you should totally do
That's
it too.
cool.
It's good for you.
Some people get them candy bars, man. I could see like a soccer mom getting those mushroom candy bars.
They just had a recall though. Somebody died from one of them.
I wouldn't eat them. I heard a bunch of bad stuff.
Grow your own mushrooms so you know exactly what it is.
Yep. Someone was going to send me one of those, man. And I did the research and I ended up declining it. I was like, no thanks. I'll give them my address. Because I read somewhere they said like probably half of the ones out there are good and made to specifications, but there's a lot of them going around that aren't. And then they were talking about rebranding and repackaging the shitty ones with mimicry and shit. And I'm thinking it could have been a big you know, bullshit article, but it kind of got me thinking, like, I don't know this person. I don't know what they're sending. They may be ignorant and think that they have something good and they just want to share it. So it's coming from a good place in their heart, you know? And it's like, nah, I think I'll, just like you said, wait till someone I know grows it where I know where it comes from, just like my cannabis. The beer industry funded Louis Pasteur's work, but at that time, 25% of deaths were born illnesses. Pasteur's a function of heat and time, either fast and hot or low and hold it. That's pretty food-borne illnesses, yeah. The beer industry figures. That was a big thing, you know. A lot of people drank beer because the water wasn't the greatest. Yes, our buddy Martial Artist hooked us up with some mushroom chocolates, and I gotta say, that dude knows his stuff. And I'm sure a lot of other people were the same way, but that's my only experience, so I go back to that. But he sent us different chocolates wrapped in, and he was all right with us saying that he did this, and I like to give him credit for it. They was different chocolates wrapped in different colors, and then he was like, "This no shit." He was like, "Take a quarter of this color one, and this is how you'll feel, you know." And then you wait a while, and if you want to feel better, you take it later. And like we wrote it down, followed it through, and exactly what he said is exactly what happened. And it lasted for the exact, pretty much like, you know, the amount of time he said it would and everything. So his instructions were spot on for his dosage. And the thing is I've eaten a lot of mushrooms when I was younger, and I always threw up from them. I always eat a handful. I'd eat a whole eighth of mushrooms, and I would end up throwing up and make me sick. And when I ate his, I never got any of that. And I was like waiting for it, and it never came. He said it wouldn't. And so I think that's a perfect example of dealing with somebody who's very educated on it. It's not their first batch, and they're not buying it from someone else. That's the type of medicine we should seek, or I would recommend. Everybody be busting Martial Artists' inbox up. But that's
he has good medicine, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, I like to give him credit for hooking us up.
Yeah, and you know, as soon as all this construction is going to be coming to a halt here shortly,
and within the next month, everything.
I'm hoping we can start some mushrooms and then get right into the growing.
Hey, they're twerking over there. The dance move.
Oh yeah.
That's the ass.
Put on your dancing shoes.
That's ass shaking moves. That's funny. That's like painting a picture. I don't know what martial artist looks like, but it ain't a pretty picture what I'm seeing. That's cool that you're
it's dancing. A glorious picture what I'm picturing.
People only dance when they're happy, right? They said that was the number one thing to lower people's anxiety and stress was dancing. But you can't dance unless you listen to music and you're in a good mood, right?
Yep, start smoking some of that purple panty dropper and start twerking with some twat waffles.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! You got there you go. That's the answer for all of our happiness.
That's the foundation of our whole. That's our whole show summed up in one word, one sentence.
That should be the title for the show.
The people come here for substance, and we deliver
quality entertainment.
This
kind of laughs will get me going all week until we meet again.
We always rely on. Yeah, we got about 12 minutes, and then our buddy G Bay Genetics is gonna be on Uncle Rick's show, Let's Be Buds, at 9:00. So we encourage everybody to go over there, support the channel, support all the other channels that you come across, give good content, and there's a lot of them out there. What do we got? I see the seeds, but definitely support G-Bay and them, man. Very good people over there.
And share your links.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
nice.
12. Oh, I didn't get them in. It looked like there's a dozen and a half or so.
Oh, that came out of that bud.
I see a seed giveaway in the future.
Yeah, you got a nice pile of weed too.
He's muted.
Oh,
I bet he's
yeah.
talking and he doesn't
Ah,
realize.
damn it! I was muted.
Ah.
It's about 20 seeds or so, yeah. Out of that one bud. Pretty much what you guys were saying, but I was just agreeing with you the whole time. But yeah, so yeah, I do. We're gonna do a lot of seed giveaways and stuff. These are all regular seeds, so we're gonna do a lot of stuff with it. These plus all that stuff in the herbs now is full of seeds, plus the other plant. So
Ooh, more seeds.
yeah,
I
it'll
can't
be
wait.
fun.
Moving
And
up
you guys can
Tuesday.
call it whatever you want. Make your own strains with it. That's the idea.
Hey, you're real
Everybody
good
should
at
have their own strain
naming,
to give
dude.
away.
You're the best namer.
Thanks.
Come on. You've thought of some really good ones.
Yeah, you come up with some really good names. You're right, Artman. I second that news for sure.
We still got 10 minutes, but it looks like there's some shit going down. That Scott from Myers now will be on HGTC. And he gets around. He's done quite a few interviews. Got a good product. It seems like everybody that has one is happy with it. And I know people that own it, and if it wasn't working right, they would say, like, hey, this shit ain't working for me. I don't know what's going on, but they're all happy with it. So
I haven't heard a negative yet.
No, I've smoked weed out
Honestly.
of it. Thanks to Seed Person, I got to try buds that came out of one, and I was very happy with those buds, regardless of how they were dried and cured.
They were great.
They were. It was an
yeah.
upside down clone. I felt like I was a boss smoking that thing. Man, they're talking about
The
Yeah.
granny panty strain.
yeah, man, prison pockets and everything. I don't know what's going on. They're talking about twerking's gonna contaminate inoculation stage. Whew,
It's getting wild.
it's slipping away over there. Yeah, we'll have to. There was a few new people here tonight, so I wanted to tell them thanks for coming. I hope they had enjoyed the show. Sometimes we might get into a little bit more cannabis talk. I felt like tonight we didn't get into too much, but we had a good show. And other days we like to get into shit and really go over people's gardens. I know Jace and Artman will both have their lights on Sunday. It gives us more to go over. It's nice to talk about. Jace always comes up with some good stuff, as well as Artman. We end up going over either CO2 that Artman runs and Jace, how he trained his plants, and it really takes us into some other good topics. So we encourage you to come back. We always rely on the chat to interject with questions. I seen one earlier about lighting. A few of our friends were rolling. I didn't want to really change the subject, but that's the kind of stuff that we like to talk about. Sometimes we can inform. Sometimes we have questions for the chat. We all learn together, and it's nice when we know we can help other people out too. So just an exchange of information, ideas, collaboration over competition is the main goal, right?
That's true. True that. And this is such a wonderful community.
It is. We always like to tell this whenever we see a few new heads around, is that we look at growing as a race, kind of. Now, if you was running a marathon, it would be all about you, and you would just try to run your race the best you could to get to the finish. But if the goal of the race was to get you and 20 of your friends across at the same time, then you would stop and help people out, and you would rely on one another. And you only win when everybody gets across and everybody's doing good. So that's kind of how we look at it, is we want everyone to cross the finish line together. And success is relative, but it's definitely can be achieved. We like to. Everybody here is a great grower, man. And
we're lucky we get to hang out with rock stars, and we're so grateful for everybody that came to our show tonight. But there are shows that are going to be happening after our show, and maybe we'll see you there. I'll go ahead and start giving the final shout outs and goodbyes.
So people have a couple minutes to get
ready. We can go get our popcorn or ice cream and head to the next show.
And happy 4th of July.
And happy 4th of July. Yes.
Celebrate your independence. No taxation without representation.
Free flower.
I think we allowed it to get reversed. They're taxing everything under the sun. I didn't. There's nobody represent me.
Free the
Right, but
flowers.
isn't that how that all started? We were sending all of our money over to England, and
Yeah, like screw that
they
guy.
weren't. Yeah, somebody would get charged with a crime in America, and they would have to get put on a ship and rowed all the way over to England, and it would be a month or two before they would get seen by a judge. And they're thinking, why am I paying taxes whenever we need to have the judges there? You know, it was wild. I read a bunch of shit and was like, man, these people, we think we have it bad, you know? But anyhow, we definitely appreciate the chat, appreciate our guests, man, and it makes the show happen. We'll see everybody Sunday, and we'll start our shout outs, huh?
Yeah, most definitely. We can start out with you, Seed Person One.
Yes, seedperson1 on Instagram or seedperson1@gmail.com. It's great to see everybody. I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday and hopefully have Friday off. I'm going to be chilling. And yeah, anybody that is interested in what I'm doing, reach out and or hit me up about any addiction or anything like that. Yeah, grow love to everybody.
Girl love.
Girl love.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on and always sharing and always putting out that good vibe. Seed Person, you're awesome. You and Tao and OK Jason, Artman, y'all make me feel like I'm hanging out with rock stars. And with that being said, the American One, you're a true rock star in my eyes, man. It's so cool to have you on. I give your final shout outs.
You ruined it for me. I was going to say, Smart and Crispy, you guys are the rock stars, and you really are. And yeah, when you were talking about coming back on Sunday, to OK Jace and Artman's plants are just looking awesome. So yeah, everybody should come back and check them out. And yeah, shout out to everyone in chat. Shout out to everyone who's hooked me up. And happy 4th of July. People say they're proud to be Americans. I consider myself lucky that we're in America. And yeah, I guess that's about it, man. Everybody have a great tomorrow, and we'll see you on the next visit, man.
The American One is definitely, he's dressed every day for 4th of July on his avatar thing over there. And that's cool, man. The American One, what a fitting name for the 4th of July ending of the show. Up next is Artman himself.
Artman, 2 N's, 420 underscore over at Instagram. I will be having a seed giveaway, kind of a random collection of stuff next Sunday. So everybody come on by. And thanks.
I gotta say, Artman has been very generous lately. He ended up with a bunch of doubles from people sending him all these seeds, and he figures like, I'm going to share these. It's more than I can grow, and taking it on yourself to incur those costs and stuff for the shipping, it means a lot to us that you do that here on our show. And I know you thanked us for giving you a platform, but honestly, man, bringing seeds, give them away is a powerful thing. A lot of people have done it here, and we love them all for it. And yeah, lately that's been a cool thing that you've been doing, Artman. So thank you.
Well, I was going to say it isn't just me. It's Seed Person, it's Tao, it's Uli, it's everybody. It's a lot of people.
Mr. Greenfingers. It's been a lot of people come through. Yeah.
I'm just sharing them. I'm just passing them on.
That's cool of you, man. And that's one thing that we like to see is people get those genetics, and then we got a chance to prod them to come on the show so we can look at their grow and see how they're doing. You know, we always like that. New grows, awesome tours. Last but not least, OK Man Jace, number 20.
Okay, Jace 20 at Instagram. Thanks for the kind words, guys. Tao, Smart Crispy Art. And yep, vote for Afro Man 2024 president.
Right on.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
See you over at Let's Be Buds. Cheers, everyone. Have a safe holiday.
Girl love.
Peace.
Peace.